problem is better than nothing. If you did 2 problem is better than nothing. If you did 1 problem is better than nothing. If you get 5 problems, that's come on, I'm proud of you. If you get 5 problems done, great. Guess what? The test is gonna be shadow, cone, sphere, ladder, angles, and I think what it says cube, and projectile, and what is the last one? A bike in 2 direction. You see all those questions. The only thing I didn't cover on my notes is bike in 2 direction because usually you guys figure out. But everything else, there was videos on it. Okay, so you don't even have to do drawing here. They already give you the drawing. A camera is mounting 3000. So let's go back and let's do 3000. And let's look at this. And you cannot tell me you don't know how to do this. And those of you guys really want a good note taking, this, and if you really can afford it, I know some of you guys live in a rich neighborhood. You live in like, your bathroom's bigger than my house. Okay, buy an iPad. It's actually pretty useful. You're gonna find out you don't need a 1020 binders. Martin has really good notes. You ever look at her notes, it's spectacular. And even she doesn't look at her own notes. Okay, so this is 3000. And write down friends, my besties. I don't even know how to spell besties. That's your friend. That's something that doesn't change. If you take a picture, 2 times pictures, and Emil put it best. He says, if you put 2 pictures of this thing continuous going, the things that stay the same, that's going to be the same. The rocket's going to go up. The distance between the camera to the rocket is going to become longer. The only distance does not cover is the bottom, is 3000. Okay, so which trig function I will use? Well, we have a dy dt is 800, so it's dy dt. And that is the one I'm going to be using. Why? Because I don't know what a dHdt is. dy dt is given to me. I don't want to go find dHdt. Can I find a dHdt? Yes, I can phone it from how fast is camera to a rocket distance changing. Now, what if you find A wrong? You don't want to do that. You want to be B's independent from A. What do I mean? This question A is you can get a result. I think it's 640, right? Negative 640 or positive 640. If you did that right, it's going to be 640. But if you did this one, and if you base on 680, then you screw. Learn to use the information that they give it to you already. So learn to then use that, give it the information. You have 3 choices. You have to use sine data, cosine data, tangent data. Here, why they represent 3 forms for you to illustrate which one is the best. Okay, so let's talk about which one's the best trig identity to use here. That deal with the y and something don't change, that's on the bottom. Tangent, thank you. So tangent is equal to 3000 on the bottom because that's the x and this is the y. That's what I will be using. Now, cosine data, can I use that? Yes, I can, because that will be x over 3000. Oh, no, sorry, is x over 3000? Yeah. Wait, no, sorry, x, wait, sorry, I'm confused. So it's gonna be, what, Max?
I thought it was x over 5000.
X over 5000, but 5000 is changing. So that's not a 1. Cosine theta is going to be 3000 over over h, right? And sine theta is going to be what? Y over h. They both are changing. Some people says, hey, can I fill in y and the h and they are 3000, 5000 or whatever? No, because they are constantly changing. If something's changing, you do not plug in as is. If something doesn't change, you plug in as is. But this has a bestie on it, right? And that's what you guys gotta think. It has a right write things here. If I were to take this, it's gonna be cosine theta, and then it's gonna be d theta dt, and that's equal to low d high, high d low, over low low. And I will do this, and you're gonna say, wait, this is not good. And instead of y, I'm gonna write down dy dt, right? dh dt. So dy dt, dh dt. Now this is so much things. I need a dy dt, I need a dh dt to solve. That's why constants on the bottom is your best friend. Second one, if I take a derivative, it's gonna be negative sine theta, d theta dt. And the reason being is this one is really hard to take a derivative because you gotta say 3000 h to the negative 1. If I take a derivative of that, it's gonna be negative 3000 h to the negative 2 and dh dt. Are you gonna get the same answer? Yes, you're gonna get the same answer. Try it. Matter of fact, you guys should all try it. Plug in all those three different things. See if they come up with the same answer. Devin was good. Devin got the first one. He's like, I got sine theta, and I'm gonna try that answer and make sure that I'm right. I say that's fine. It's that he had problem simplify fraction. His mom started yelling at him. Okay, so this one is the best because this one's gonna be secant squared theta d theta dt is equal to, this one's 1 over 3000 y. So y, it's just like a constant multiple rule. So that's gonna be 1 over 3000 dy dt. Does that make sense? Okay, so then d theta dt, guess what? Is equal to 1 over 3000. dy dt is 800. And if you divide by both sides by secant, so it's 1 over secant squared theta. And that's equal to 8 over 30. You can simplify the 0, guys know how to simplify fractions. And that's going to be 1 over secant squared. So that's going to be cosine squared. So cosine squared is equal to the ratio. So what is a ratio? Well, ratio is, this one is x over h. So this 3, 4, 5 triangle. So it's going to be 3 over 5 squared. And then you just simplify the fraction. So that's going to be 2 over 15 times 9 over 25. Simplify the fraction again, 3 and 5. So this is 4, sorry. Let me redo that one. This one is going to be 4 over 15 times 9 over 25. And this is 3, this is 5. So it's 12 over 125 radian per second. And you guys says, what's 1 radian? What's 1 radian? 57.3 degree. I say that too. You guys, what's 1 radian? Okay, I know Sarah Morgan cannot see. Can you see now?
No.
And that's how you understand things. Not memorize. Every time I see this, I'll memorize this. That's the exactly wrong way to study.
How did you get the 1 over secant squared?
Because I divide by both sides by secant square. So it's going to be on denominator. And secant square is going to change to cosine square. Max, what you need to do is, your homework is go home, take a notes, and gonna take a notes that's legible so you can read it.
Okay.
Because you're not able to read your own damn notes. You gotta be able to read your own notes. You gotta be able to write your own homeworks. I'm not babying you. I'm telling you what's the right thing. Okay, let's try one. Let's try one here. 11.
Can you zoom in on it?
The picture I cannot, you can. Figure out which trig function to use is the key. This problem, the biggest problem is trig function. You can take a derivative, you can do anything. And some of you guys probably wonder why I always help Sam. On the group chat, I always help Sam. And the reason why is Sam putting a lot of effort. She really tried to understand something. If Vida asked me a question, I ignore her. I was like watching the notes. But Vida Sam really paid attention to what I say. I told her to go watch a video. She went to watch a video. She did exactly using like that. She used a sign of data. And she did it. And she got it wrong. And I said, you did your math right. Now you gotta just set up the right trig ratio. Then Emil responded, yeah, you say the best. There's nothing else I can say. Then she went on to try it again by herself. She did it with tangent. She got it right. She got 12,125 by herself, on her own, paying attention to what people says. Sam didn't pass the test, but Sam is great. She's a good listener. She's paying attention to details. I will help her on passing the test if she's taking it. Just because she's very try to be, math is not her favorite thing. She used to come here and she used to have the ground face. Right now she come in, she's like excited, she's doing things. Even though she's not good at it, but she's trying her best. Right, weird. But yeah. This is a test question or this is a test question. Can you handle it? Set up a trig ratio. Before you go further, check with each other. Which trig ratio do you use? Which do you best? Yeah, best equation. And when you got it right, you can say slay.
For tangent, we have. Both these angles plus yeah. Oh, yeah. No, when it goes square. Oh, this is just the square. I use that. It doesn't matter if the square root is. So it's cotangent. Yeah. Oh, but I'll try to make it like 100. Oh, never mind. I knew what I just said. Yeah.
Beta, you listening? Huh? Look at your notes. Pay attention. And when other people is talking, listen. You have listening issue. You don't listen to what other people says. People can talk to you all day long and you're not listening. You just focus on your talking. Learn to listen to other people.
I got 3 of them.
What did you get? Is it negative?
It's science for expectation. Why? What? No, the hypotenuse. The distance between the light and the bottle. so it's.
So you multiply it by -5.
No, so variable over.
You multiply 0 over 5 by 5.
Wait, is that?
Yes, because it's simplified. Okay, so I didn't get me.
So 1 over the square root of 5.
Wait, yeah, but like, isn't it cosecant though? Isn't it going to change sign? I mean, change cosecant sign. Oh, okay.
It's a square. Oh. So it's just 1 over the square root of 5. 1 over 5. So I got 3 over 5.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
I mean, I understand. No, I'm not super high. Yeah, that's.
And they only do that in
But it's neither multiple.
or.
Oh, wait, I switched on.
Yeah, so when you come to the sequence square, so for that data times the chain of data,
How fast
where
you
was that
can
chain
go.
So you're gonna divide this over.
Negative
Negative
3 over 5? I put y over 2.
500? No.
I
mean,
mean,
500.
A as the adjacent.
What?
The constant is 150.
So I put that to the bottom, so I have a change.
But it would be what, 5?
You got,
What's up?
It would be
you had negative sign.
opposite over change.
Right?
Yeah.
Which times the negative cosecant.
Yeah.
Is it a negative square?
Yeah, okay, and then you.
I have 3 over 500.
Yeah.
It's negative. 3 over 100 times sine squared. I use cotangent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sign squared was like.
Oh, it is negative.
Be divided by 100.
Oh, but.
Living high on the table. Wait, you're doing.
10,000 to be divided.
Yeah, yeah, then it doesn't matter if it's on the top or bottom. It's still on that.
For the derivative, you just cancel this d over dt over 100.
Okay, so then you
I
took.
think you made it a lot. I've never seen a poster of these talking.
Oh,
No, you shouldn't do that.
Wait.
You should just divide and cancel.
I don't wanna do that.
That's it.
No, I really put it on about the poster. You skip the portion of the I didn't know what to do. I really
So, okay, yeah.
I didn't solve it over 100 again. It's dA over dt over 100 equals negative cosecant squared times.
No. No, 25.
I guess my thing is, so why didn't you just?
Yeah. So we start off, leave the b on the bottom.
It's not,
And then the derivative of
Yes.
nice and straight.
dude, it's not that.
It's negative.
How would you
Wait, why you
over
multiply by 20?
times 1 over so dA over dt over.
So you just.
Marco, I think you're wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So trig ratio.
Which is 10,000.
Negative.
You don't have.
You can basically.
Well, it equals square.
Oh, wait, no, it's positive. It's positive.
Positive 5.
No, it's negative.
This would be 1 over 5 and then 3 over 100.
So we need to know dA over that's great, that's not too big.
But it's negative. Negative is 0.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay, look. Which one are you up to?
Oh, that's
Or
Uh,
and then you just do that
this.
over negative.
I got
Negative
Yeah, so negative 1/5 is squared. But the squared is outside of the negative, the negative is outside of the square. So first you square it, you apply the negative.
Whoa. Why are you saying that?
After you get
Because
that.
that's just, it's,
Because it's
the answer is negative, right?
What do you think the answer is negative?
Sorry?
Is answer negative? Do you think is right? If the man's walking further, is the angle getting bigger or getting smaller?
Because you're
He's walking
and since we
further?
like you know how stocks
The angle's getting bigger.
Smaller.
Smaller?
Oh, smaller.
It is getting smaller?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's-
So look at things logically. Don't ask. You gotta ask. So you want to think about physics or you want to think about things. When you get an answer, you gotta see if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like intuitively, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Right? If it makes sense, that means that one part of double checking is correct. So don't just say, can you tell me the answer? But you got to think about it logically. So that's a good student think about. They think about logically.
Yeah.
And this thing that, if you see like this little boy there on the Friday, he's in math competition. He's third grade. He's helping calculus kids how to solve her problems. He's third grade. He literally is third grade. But the thing is that I'm more impressed about him is his logic thinking is very impressive, because you remember the mixture problem
Yeah.
that we have. He doesn't know how to do it when I give it to him.
The leader one?
Yeah, the leader one. He doesn't know how to do it when we give it to him. But the problem is, this little boy, he just sit there and think. I grabbed the hand sanitizer. I told him, says, look, it says 80% alcohol here. What does that mean? So he doesn't understand what that meant first. He understands the math, he just doesn't understand that meant. So he's like, well, that means 80% are alcohol, 20% are water. And I say, good. So I'm going to give you a clue. So he did the first part of the calculation, he did it wrong. So I says, I'll give you a clue. Is pure over the total is representing concentrations. Pure over the total. And that's the only thing I gave it to him. I didn't give him formula. I didn't give him nothing. I just gave him pure, which is 80 over 100, because 100 is 20 plus 80. So 20 over 100. So 80 over 100. So that's 80%. He look at it. He teach Emil how to do the problem. He's third grade. Emil turn around, it's like, wow. But the thing is, he's learning how to think through those small things. So pay attention on the simplest thing. Everything, there's always a lot of simplest thing in the question. The simplest thing in here is knowing where the constant is. It doesn't even know which trig value is, right? The simplest thing to understand d theta is going to be negative. If you got your answer positive, that means your sign's wrong. So those are the things that you got to learn how to think. I cannot teach you how to think. There are people who have it, who don't. But you still can train for it even you don't. You got to learn to pay attention to what people says. Got it? Okay, what you guys got for answer?
-3/500.
-3/500. Okay, let's try another one. 13. You should know how to do cone one now. You should know how to do shadow one. You should know how to do ladder one. You should know how to do things. Using fraction, don't use decimals. Fraction are your friend, decimal are not. Even I had to teach BC Calc over again. I said, don't use decimal, use fractions. So instead of 0.5, you can use half. Did everybody get -3/500? No? On the previous one? Okay, should I go over it?
I can watch the video.
Okay.
I can promise.
Okay, good. I don't even know if 93 over 500 is correct. What's your answer?
Oh,
Okay.
No, because when you okay. Yeah, when you square, it
The beams like
takes out the root. Did you?
that's that.
this L.
Yeah. Did you do the 525 cotangent into?
Yeah, I did cotangent.
Yeah, and then did you do the derivative of it?
Negative cosine squared.
Yeah, and then divide it to the other side.
Yeah.
Sine squared. Negative sine squared.
Yeah. And then you did that, and you
So,
did you get the what is that called?
and then of course the changes is two.
Did you get the negative
That's fine.
3 over 5 or
Yeah,
500?
the change in x.
Negative 3 over 500. Yeah, I got that. Or let's see what happens. Everything.
Okay.
No, cosine.
Angular velocity angle.
That's how fast the angle is changing.
Yeah, so it's
So you've ever seen like a lighthouse? They have the things is turn like this.
Yeah.
They have an angle velocity. Actually, that'd be cool if I record it and ask you guys to calculate it.
this, you need this.
The angle velocity is how fast they rotate on the lighthouse. You can see the lighthouse, they go like this. But I don't think they go all the way around 360 unless they are in the island. I think they have, let's say, yeah, they go like this probably. I don't know. I never seen lighthouse.
What's
And now I kind of want to see it because my student told me I had to go to this place called the Spearing Island.
It depends where you
We're
are.
trying to find
If
the-
you're on like a rock, it'll go like this. Like, if you go
Okay.
here,
Uh-oh.
I went to a,
Yeah, there's
a
no,
light-
there's no need to.
Where is that?
I think it was in Michigan.
Oh. Yeah, somebody told me there was a lighthouse in New Smyrna Beach. It's called the Spearing Island. Addison's the one that told me that.
So you just do it like for
Over 5 times dx over dt.
That's what I did when I entered it right there. So it would just be.
Yeah.
So that's two.
I don't know the answers in negative 3 over 500, so I'm gonna go try it. Can you guys take a picture of this question?
Two is actually.
Angular velocity is how fast the angle is changing, so you can try this problem, see if it's right.
Along the shore.
So let me go double check. The dx dt, so this is a x, this is a y. So dx dt is equal to 3. Add the altitude is a 100, that's your bestie.
If you were to multiply.
So
Wait, actually, no, never mind. That is two. I just kept it as a fraction, and I plug this into two. And then.
Wait, so Mark,
Secant squared.
isn't the shoreline of 0.5, right?
Be
No, the y-axis.
Okay.
What do you?
I'm just doing it in one word.
The secant squared. Yeah, the way you can do it is by
No,
this
because
over
it got
basically,
tan theta
you should end up with
of x
tangent
over
theta
1/2.
equals 1
So you
over
just- you
0.5
don't have to
times
do
dx dt.
It's
1 over secant. And then you can
plus 2x, so it's secant squared theta equals 2x. So then you get 4 cosine squared theta.
I got
And then
Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. Wait, what'd you say you got? I got one half of the
C is equal to 100 square root of 5, right?
Yeah.
And then it's 100.
It's fun. So I don't want to four. What would you?
Is that okay?
It'd be square root over theta, which should be 1 over 5.
I think it's 4. It's 4.
Never mind.
What did you get? 4 over 5. What did you get?
Yeah, 4 over 5. See? Hey, I got 4 over 5 when I did it yesterday. But I don't know where to put the light. Or the 2 over 1. Does that go on the short bar? Or the head bar? Why? Because it says
Almost here.
moving along the short bar.
Yeah, so it's gonna end up being 4.
Projecting.
Huh? You can help me grade it when you come back.
Which period? That should be
Huh?
4.
I don't have time to grade it.
It's going to be.
Kaden,
You need to.
where's Kaden?
No.
Yeah, wait.
I think max.